Hello guys, this is Blade from Team Liquid presenting to you another Zerg vs Protoss YouTube tutorial. This is going to be a long set of tutorials. I plan on doing about probably 5 videos going over the Zerg vs Protoss matchup in Heart of the Swarm. This is going to pretty much feature, this replay is going to show how to use the new units, the swarmhost, on defeating the immortal all-in. In this game, this player will go for a Nexus first into an immortal all-in and moves out at about, I think it's 8:50, 9 minutes. And this will showcase how you can defend it and then how to transition. So, I know a lot of Zerg players complain about Zerg versus Protoss in Heart of the Swarm in general, but also the immortal all-in is said to be a little too powerful. So I'm going to showcase a video of beating it with ease, by the way, and then the transitional thing. This is going to go into a kind of late game scenario, and this will showcase the transitional phase, which is Ultralisks, Ling, Baneling, Infestors, and if your Swarmhosts are still alive, you use those as well. So this is going to be a standard game for the most part. I'm going to go 15 pool, 16 hatch, and then get my third expansion at the normal timing, 21-22 supply. And he's going to go Nexus first. And so this replay will show some good usage of the Swarmhost, as it's a unit that I used to think sucked, but I was wrong. It's very powerful in this matchup. And I'm just scouting for potential proxy racks. Something I would recommend all you guys do is your second Overlord, have it like queue up to go here and then here. Versus Protoss, just go here. But reason is you'll be surprised at how many you'll find a proxy here. Some players like to hide a probe or an SCV here and then proxy you, and you won't see it until too late. If you send your Overlord right here, you will see it every time, and you will see it before they even start building anything. So it's a good advantage. And I guess I lied. He went Forge first. My bad. He still moves out at like 9 minutes. And I'm just kind of droning up. And so what you want to do once you get to the Swarmhost phase is you want to get about 11 to 13 and no more. You don't want to get more than that, unless you want to go all in with them or something. But if you just want to use them in a macro game and then transition out of them, get 11 to 13. Make sure you have a Spire, and then start Corruptor production. Corruptors are for multiple things. Taking out early Void Rays before they can get critical mass. Taking out Observers, because you need the Overseers with them. And this is the important part, is the Observers. Because you can prevent them from seeing your Swarmhosts, so you can keep harassing their base for as long until they engage correctly, which some Protosses don't. I don't see much Swarmhost usage, so most Protosses I play don't have the best counter. And I mean, he's just Nexusing, got his expansion going, Gateway, he's going to start his Cyber Core. And something I like to do, so after I do the 15 pool 16 hatch, I make one queen here, and as soon as this finishes, I make another one, and I send the one that just finished here after injecting. I also use this queen to inject for its first thing, and then second thing is to start spreading creep. This is because you don't need that larva that early, so you can afford to do this. And as you can see, I'm going to inject, and bam, he's going straight to the third base. Oh, sorry. And as you'll see, he's just droning. I'm just droning up. He's getting a Stalker. And I have an Overlord over here. If this Overlord doesn't see anything, I'm going to make this an Overseer at Lair, and I'm going to scout his base. I don't believe I see this until later. Now what I like to do is I like to get both my gases at about 6:05, 6:10. I get one at the natural, one at the main. And you want to start your Lair no later than 7:20. If you start any later than 7:20, you're going to die to an immortal all-in. I mean, 720, 725, 730 at the absolute latest is when you want to start your lair. And if you see a robo opening, you should start your lair at 720 every time. If you see a Stargate opening, you can actually start your lair a little bit later if you choose. That's up to you. And I'm just droning up. He's preparing for his immortal all-in. And I should be starting my lair tech any second now. Since I didn't scout and whenever you don't scout anything, I recommend putting a spore crawler in every base, just in case he goes DTs or something. And as you see, I started at 725. And he's still got a while before he can start his immortal all-in, because they move out with 3. As you can see, I'm placing a spore crawler, because again, I don't know what he's doing, so there's no reason not to. Getting my Evo, and getting I get my 3rd and 4th gas by 7:45, give or take a few seconds. This is based on a feeling. Then I'm getting my 5th gas at 8:10. Creep spread could be better, and I should get a 4th queen. I do get one this game, but I get it a little late. And I'm going to get +1 carapace with this. I mean, as you can see, he's definitely going for the immortal all-in, but I don't know this yet. As you can see, I haven't been able to scout. So my lair finishes. I should immediately be putting down an infestation pit. There it is. And this is immediately going into an overseer. And I'm making 2 spines and a spore here, moving the spore. Because I believe I saw the immortals. I don't actually, maybe not yet. But look, I'm going to see this right now. And I kind of knew he was going to do an immortal all-in, because no expansion by 9:30. That's very kind of weird in a ZVP at this late in the stage. And so 2 spines and the spore for the observer. This makes him have to be a little cautious, and you'll get a lot of Protoss players who just walk their observer right here, lose it, and then swarmhosts are just going to clean it up even easier. I put 2 spines at both locations, and I'm going to move this spore crawler right here as well. Now, as you can see, I see him moving out. Send your lings out to delay this as long as possible. Just even a few seconds is big, especially when you're waiting for these swarmhosts to pop out. And as you can see, I mean, they're just now getting out, and he's just getting over here. And Protoss players always wait for their first warp in before really moving in. But I've already got my swarmhost. So, as you can see, can't really do much. He can't attack into this. He kind of tries to, and there's his observer. I don't quite snipe it because he had good control, but he can't really push in. And I've got quite a few swarmhosts now, so this attack has failed. And as you'll notice, he cut probes at 44, and he's just going to retreat. So now he's really behind. I mean, if he commits, he's going to lose his army. And if he doesn't commit, he's going to be super behind in the macro game. And I know this. I now know I'm really far ahead. And he starts moving out. And I'm starting +2 carapace. You want to get your 2nd Evo by about the time your first carapace is finishing. I did not this game because of the immortal all-in. And then you want to start the melee upgrade. Melee and carapace are kind of the upgrades you should be going for. And that reason being is because you're going to be going into an Ultralisk-Ling, Baneling, Infestor usage in the later stages of the game. That's going to be your main composition. As you can see, there goes the Spire, and I have 13 Swarmhosts, which is about the optimal number. And you're going to go Swarmhost, Ling, Corruptor, and then you're going to add in Infestors later. And now notice what I'm going to do. I'm going to burrow here, move him up here, but I'm not going to commit too hard to this. I'm going to unburrow immediately, and I'm going to move here and start assaulting where he's taken his 3rd. And this warp prism's also pesky. I'm going to get my macro hatch and take my 4th now. And I've already moved position. Spreading my creep, getting the pathogen glands for infestors. And I'm going to be making a ton of swarmhosts, or corruptors, very soon. As you can see, I'm going to burrow here, and this one just goes retard mode. I mean, just look at that. Retard, but whatever. He wants to sacrifice himself for the greater cause of the swarm, but then I don't let him. So the point here is I'm just unburrowing because I don't want to get these caught out of position. If his army's like right here, for example, and your swarmhost right here, run. Don't stay there. There's no reason to stay here because if he kills the swarm, if he kills the locust, he can just camp above them and then kill them once an observer gets to him. You don't want that, so be very active with these. Make sure you know where this army is. I mean, this game I have such a lead it doesn't matter, but in general, you want to make sure. And also I'm placing spines and spores in my base because I don't want to take unnecessary damage. One thing Protoss players will do when facing swarmhosts is they'll try for counterattacks. I don't think they do this game, but in the next few games I do showcase they do try that. And I'll show you how to deal with it. And I'm just going to keep sending my waves in wave after wave after wave. And you'll notice I'm kind of droning, I'm teching, going hive, getting my melee carapace upgrades. Where's that? Oh, there's the second evo. I sniped a couple colossi because there's no reason not to. Giving Overlord speed, and there's not too much he can do because he's just so behind from the earlier game. And during this stage you should make defenses, and you should also be expanding more. I think I take my 5th and my 6th base very soon, and I'm just kind of camping here. He can't do anything. He's contained to his base. His colossi count keeps getting reset. So he's got to use force fields to stop the locust from getting in. And there's my 5th base. Just getting defenses in case he tries any sort of funky attack. And the Ultralisk Cavern is going down. Which this should be your transition. Is you do want to get the Ultralisk out. You want to get a Greater Spire just in case you need to morph your Brood. Because then you can just morph these Corruptors into Brood Lords. If he's not going Sky Toss. Like this game, he can't really afford it because he's been so behind all game. And I just do an attack because I have so much money. I kill his colossi. Killed quite a few units. He's only got +1 attack. And while he kills the Lynx, that's a fine loss for me. It doesn't matter. I was clearing up supply. He's never gonna bust me because he's never had the mass amount of anti-air plus colossi. And now Ultralisks are coming out. And I got a Greater Spire. Ultralisks are really good in this matchup now, especially if you have a good transitional phase. And when you get infestors, make sure to get Neural Parasite. I don't think I make infestors this game because I know I don't need them. But in most cases you'll want some infestors just to lock down his army. And I'm making Brood Lords. I'm going to do an Ultralisk Brood Lord Ling attack. I'm guessing he just assumes I'm going Ultras because he's making double Immortal, which is kind of weird. Make sure to have a Ling at all the locations so you can see potential hidden bases. And that did no damage. I mean, he's running out of force fields, it looks like. And just morphing these because it doesn't matter. No reason not to. And taking my 6th. The great thing about the Swarmhost is the effect of being able to mass expand. You get complete map control. You can expand anywhere you wish. Anywhere you wish for the most part. and you want to take advantage of that, because in a normal game, the Protoss can and will be able to bust you, or break out of the contain. This game, he was too far behind to ever do it, but there will be games I showcase it. This is mainly to show the Immortal all-in, and as you can see, I mean, I just crushed him. Not much he can do. And that's the end of the game. So, in the next set, I'll show a more macro-based focus play. This one I just wanted to showcase the Immortal all-in versus the early swarmhost usage. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to know when I release the next video, twitter.com/blade555. Comments on the Team Liquid thread or on the YouTube is helpful for criticism, something that maybe I'm not explaining it thoroughly or something of that effect. Please let me know, and hope you guys learned something, and peace.